Hey everyone, Chris here, and in this video I'm going to review this Garmin HRM-Pro heart rate monitor. I'm going to be comparing it against a bunch of other heart rate monitors that I've got here. So let's dive in, talk about what I like and what is maybe not so good about the HRM-Pro. So this is Garmin's second attempt at a heart rate monitor with Bluetooth connectivity. So back in the day they made a load of them like this HRM-Tri, the HRM-Run, all connected on the Ant Plus protocol, which was fine if you've got like a Garmin watch and a Garmin bike computer, but doesn't connect to Bluetooth devices like some other manufacturers don't use Ant Plus, they just use Bluetooth. And if you're going to connect it to things like your computer or your tablet to run things like Zwift, then they only have Bluetooth, so you're either going to need to buy an Ant Plus adapter or you're going to want a Bluetooth heart rate monitor. If you want to skip around in this review, there are chapter markers, so feel free to do that. So why would you need Bluetooth and what was going on there? Well, we've already briefly talked about why you would want a Bluetooth heart rate monitor. Garmin originally came out with the HRM-Dual, and it wasn't really very good. You can see in my other videos it was difficult to change the battery. It was big, it was a big chunky unit similar to the Polar H10, and it kept getting dropouts when I was riding on Zwift as well. So Garmin have come up with this new HRM-Pro, which looks far more similar to their very nice HRM-Tri. And it's got a bunch of improvements over the HRM-Dual and some improvements over the HRM-Tri as well, which make it a really good option. So what's good about the HRM-Pro? Well, it's got both the Ant Plus and Bluetooth connectivity, and it has memory, so you won't get dropouts. You can wear it in the pool, and it looks a lot like the HRM-Tri, which is just really comfortable. It's got a nice comfortable strap and it's pretty much the same size. It's not a big chunky unit like some of the others. So it connects to everything, records, gives you all of the stats, and it's pretty comfortable to wear. So everything is pretty much good about it. There are a couple of things that are maybe not so good. Let's explore those as well. So changing the battery, again, it's similar to the HRM-Tri and most of other Garmin heart rate monitors, in that you've got to peel this. You've got to peel this yellow rubber off, and then there's 4 screws to undo. You've got to take the screws out, change the battery, re-screw everything in, and then get the rubber back in place. Now that's fine, but if you compare that to something like the Polar H10, you can detach the unit from the strap, you can then wash the strap, and this doesn't require any tools, maybe like a fork or a screwdriver just to pull that away, but there's nothing to screw or unscrew. That just pulls away. You pull the battery out, push the new battery in, and just clip it back onto your strap. So changing the battery in the Polar is slightly easier than doing it with any of the Garmin ones. It's the same for the HRM-Pro as the HRM-Tri and the HRM-Run, but it is a bit fiddly. You also, in terms of wearing it in the pool, again, you can wear this in the pool, but it's not super resistant to pool chemicals. Now, again, this is also true of the HRM-Tri, in that you can use it for like pool-based triathlons, but it's not recommended you wear it long-term because it's not super pool resistant, and the strap isn't really designed to, like when you're pushing off the wall, isn't designed to hold it in place, which is why Garmin do the specific HRM-Swim, which is sticky rubber on the back, makes it a bit less comfortable to wear, but if you're wearing it bare-chested in the pool, then that's going to stay in place a lot better than the HRM-Pro, and it's more resistant to pool chemicals as well. Also size, if you really want the smallest unit you can, I'm not sure you'll be able to see the difference there, but they're pretty much the same size. So yeah, if you put them right now, it might be a millimeter or two more on the HRM-Pro than the HRM-Tri. But I really don't think you'll notice a difference. Final disadvantage is cost. It's more expensive than basically anything else in this range. So this is, I think, about £120. Both the HRM-Tri and the Polar H10 are going for about £75 now. So it is significantly more expensive to get the HRM-Pro. But compared to these other devices, I really feel like any of the disadvantages are real disadvantages, because in terms of the swim, you've also got that disadvantage with the HRM-Tri. HRM-Tri doesn't have Bluetooth, so then you're thinking, well, maybe the Polar H10 is for me. And that's true, this is a great heart rate monitor, but I find this one easier to get to pair with my Garmin watch, whereas this one, especially in the pool, haven't been able to download the heart rate data. The other thing also that I found frustrating about this, and I wondered whether it was a Bluetooth problem or a Polar H10 problem, is that sometimes I'm doing yoga in my living room and it will connect to the Polar H10 and it will flash up on my watch, heart rate monitor connected, even though I'm not wearing it. So I'm then getting a 0 reading for my heart rate and it's draining the battery on this. Haven't had any problems with it phantom connecting to the HRM-Pro so far. Might just have been lucky, but I haven't seen any issues with that so far. There's been no point where I've been in here and it's like connected through the wall. So overall, if you've got the money, I really like the HRM Pro. It really does everything for me. I think it'll probably be my go-to heart rate monitor in the future. That said, it is expensive and isn't great for pool swimming, and so one option you might want to go with is like get the Polar H10 for doing your Zwift and a HRM-Swim for being in the pool. You can wear this in the pool and it has a tiny bit of rubber, but again, it's not going to be as good as this. And for similar money, you could probably pick up both of these for the same price that you could get this. So that's one option, but if you are just going to get one heart rate monitor, then the HRM-Pro really is now a do-it-all heart rate monitor. Until this came out, then I wasn't really sure what to recommend, because I used the HRM-Tri for everything except swimming and Zwifting, because I couldn't be bothered to get the Amp Plus adapter. So then I was like, well, the Polar H10 really is a great thing to buy, because then it'll let you Bluetooth in. But now there's this. I think this is probably my recommended, if you're just going to buy one and you have plenty of money to get the most expensive one, then this is probably the one you want. Hopefully that was useful. If so, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you're into endurance, if you're into multi-sport, anything like that, then hit that subscribe button, because that's what my channel is all about. And I would love to see you in another video.